So right before you reach death, if you quickly go out and mash triangle and jump back in, you kind of get to keep your gear. So like we just did right there, when we come out here, he won't be here. And as you can see, we are at the beginning of the game with all of Alucard's freaking gear.
You gotta be quicker than that.
So I don't know how we're gonna be tackling this game. I wanna kind of go for a collecting every item in the game run. I don't think I've ever done that before. Maybe one time at a very long time ago, whenever this game was originally released on the PlayStation. I kind of want to do it again, but obviously before we get too ahead of ourselves, we need to complete the game in order to maybe farm some of the, you know, the characters or the enemies that drop said items that we might need. But as you can see, we are playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm Laz, you are in the arcade, so subscribe if you haven't already. Please bless this video with a thumbs up and let me know in the comments on which game you would like to see me play on the channel. And with all that being said, let's not waste no more time and let's jump right into this. And in case you didn't already know, we are playing the game on hard mode, which is luck mode, and that's why we only have 25 HP points up there. One thing that I love doing in this game right here, and I'm not sure if it only works on luck mode or if it works on the normal save file or whatever like that. So right before you reach death and he takes all of your gear away, if you quickly go out and mash triangle and jump back in, you kind of get to keep your gear. So like we just did right there, when we come out here, he won't be here. Now, in order for this, and I don't know, again, if this is just me or not, in order for this to remain this way, you need to reach the first save file.
What?
If you notice, like, there's no music playing. It's kind of like we triggered something that wasn't supposed to happen. And again, these things that I say are just things that I've picked up, you know, from when I was a kid and I played this game. Even now, when I usually come back to this game. Now, as you can see, the music starts again. And as you can see, we are at the beginning of the game with all of Alucard's freaking gear. And it's something that if you haven't tried this, man, I urge you to try, because it's a beautiful thing to be able to do. Now, I kind of been thinking about how to approach this type of video idea, I guess, if you want to call it that. Obviously, I'm not the first with the idea to collect every single item in the game. And to not make these videos longer than what they should be, I feel like we should maybe go from boss to boss, kind of making it until we reach the inverted castle. And then, you know, once we don't even have to beat the game, to be honest with you. Once we reach the inverted castle and we kind of discover as much as we can, we'd be able to farm the enemies needed to collect every single item in the game. But I believe in order to do that as well, we would need to discover all secrets and get all items, you know, some items from there maybe and stuff like that. So again, just a bit of a disclaimer, part one might be a little bit rough. I'm going to try to make it to the inverted castle here. I feel like that'll be a good stopping point. Once in the inverted castle, I feel like we can maybe do a bit of discovering, a bit of the secrets, and then move on to starting to grab all items. We do have the lapis lazuli equipped, which is, you know, it brings us luck. So we have a 99 plus 20 luck. So they are going to be dropping a lot of their already, you know, a lot of these enemies have 2 drops. So they are going to be dropping their first drops as well as their second drops. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this version of Castlevania is the PSX version, which I have never played myself up until I played this Rondo of Blood collection. I believe the Sega Saturn is the one that has the most items, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it just has a couple more items than the other games do. All right, here we have it. First bosses of the game. Demora and Saigob. I forget their names. I don't know. Or I say their names wrong. I say a lot of names wrong, so don't mind me. I've also been toying with the idea of doing a run without collecting any of these life maxes. I don't know what to call them, but those little crystal lantern looking things, kind of not picking up anything. The only time we would level up is by killing enemies. So we'd basically be at 25. Well, we'd be at 25 for a while, and then every time we level up, we'd get a +1 to HP. Also been toying with the idea of maybe doing a fist only run. Like, we're allowed to use gear, we're allowed to use equipment, you know, stuff like that. And I never shy away from a challenge, especially I never shy away from being able to play this game over and over, having a reason to play or an excuse to play this game over and over again. I as I mentioned before, I freaking love this game. This has to be one of my top 5 favorite games. And if you made it this far into my rambling on about this game, let me know in the comments if you too ever thought that you beat this game by defeating Richter at the end of the first castle. Because man, did I think I beat the game, and he was a hard boss to freaking beat, man. Like when you get up to him the first time and you don't have any kind of like proper gear or anything like that, and you're not fully properly leveled maybe because you kind of skipped a lot of the castle secrets, he is a tough boss to beat. So when I finally beat him, it was amazing, man. We got the end credit scenes, the credits and everything, and it was just like, yeah, we did it, guys. We freaking beat Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And it come to find out, I was reading a Game Informer or Gamer Pro, I don't know, one of those freaking magazines from way back in the day, and it had a list of cheat codes for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And every time I would try putting in the cheat codes, nothing would happen, nothing would work. I honestly, I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I had no idea what was going on. So as I played the game over and over and over and over again, I was at a point where I had the gold ring and the silver ring. And on the original PS1 version, it would say we're in Clock Tower. On this version, on the PSX version of the game, it tells you we're in Clock Room, which this right here is the Clock Room. The Clock Tower, as many of you might know, it's further away than where we are right now, right? So I would wear the silver and gold ring in the clock tower area and nothing would freaking happen. So I'm, you know, walking around. I, for some reason, still had the silver and gold ring equipped, not knowing what to do with them. And we ended up stumbling across the clock room, and all of a sudden the freaking floor opened up. Now, mind you, this is coming from somebody who thought beat the game, was running around just having fun, you know, playing the game. Back then, your boy was broke. Only had probably 1 or 2 games at a time, so I had to really play this game over and over again. I really had no choice. So the floor opens up. I'm over here thinking I beat the freaking game. I'm like, what the hell is this? Maybe it's just another secret room. So we end up finding Maria down there, who gives us the holy glasses. And then when we go fight Richter, we defeat the little stupid ball on top of Richter, and it leads us to the inverted castle. My freaking mind was blown. Like, my mind was blown to smithereens. Maybe I'm the only one that this ever happened to. Maybe I'm not. But man, let me tell you, when I got into that inverted castle and I freaking started walking around and seeing all these weird enemies, because all the enemies are just like, they're different from what you have on this castle, and they're a lot harder too. They were taking all kinds of freaking health chunks away from me. I was dying. I needed to be in mist form a lot of the times. My mana would run out, so I would need to wait in a safe area for my mana to come back on like a scared little boy. And the bosses, man, the bosses were freaking insane. Well, you know, after we figured out everything to do in the game and we actually beat the final boss, which was, you know, spoiler alert, Dracula, then we were able to use the freaking cheat codes. But I mean, yeah, guys, that basically, that story is just, it just goes to show you how deep and immersive this freaking game right here is. This game is insanely freaking huge. Like I mean, like, it's huge. It's the items, the artifacts, the relics, I mean, there's just so much in this game to do. There's so much in this game to see. There's so much to discover. The amount of save files that I have that I could even show you guys if I quit the game. The amount of save files that I have that are at 200.6% completion is just insane. I mean, it's just a game that I can start complete. I always start this game by saying I'm not really going to discover the whole map. I'm just going to kind of run through the game, do all these things here and there and blah, blah, blah. And I end up with 200.6% on the game. And if I didn't already mention it, here is the second boss of the, my bad. I was rambling on about my freaking childhood over here playing this game, and I completely forgot to introduce the doppelganger. Also, the amount of time I spent under this freaking librarian trying to get around them, trying to use the bat, trying to use the mist, and never could we accomplish that. So we got the Jewel of Open. Now we can kind of backtrack to the blue doors that we weren't able to go through before. Maybe get the double jump, which is usually the first thing I go for. Once we get the double jump, we can go ahead and grab the bat, which is up here to our left, which the bat paired with his echo is what we usually need to traverse that spiky room to get the spike breakers, which leads us to Maria, which gives us either the gold or the silver ring. I forgot which one she gives us. And then that's when we wear both rings, which we will have by then. Open the clock room floor, grab the holy glasses, and then defeat Richter, or, you know, quote unquote, defeat Richter and get to the inverted castle. So bear with me, folks. We will be there in a little while. Yeah, keep walking, lady. And here is our next boss. This bird-looking hippogriff, whatever. Should be done here quick-ish. There we go. All right. On to the next. And here it is, guys. The leap stone. One of my favorite freaking things in this game. When I first got this leap stone, I used to wish for a way to triple jump sometimes. But, you know, that's us being too greedy. But that's what the gravity boots are for. All right, here we have the next bosses. I don't remember their names, but I know it's Minotaur and something else. I mean, Werewolf. Werewolf and Minotaur, I'm guessing the other guy's name is. There we go. Got them both. Oh, no, I thought I had them both. Sorry. My bad, sir. You next. You next. Oh, got him. Okay, there we have the mist. Now we can go and grab the bat and then grab the rings that we need for the inverted castle. Right, next up we have this guy. I don't know if he's a boss. I feel like he's kind of like a mini boss maybe. I guess he is technically considered a boss since he does drop a level up. And here we have the bat transformation, or the soul of bat, sorry. And not that it's needed, but here is the fairy card or the fairy scroll, whatever. We don't need it at all for anything that we are trying to do, but let me tell you that it is my most used familiar, I guess. I love the bat, I love the ghost, I love the sword. The little demon is probably my second favorite, but the fairy gets us out of any situation we are in. Turn to stone, here's a hammer. Poison, here's the anti-venom. Cursed, take an uncursed. Dead, here's a life apple. Back to life in the blink of an eye. Boy, do I love this freaking fairy. Here we have the succubus, which she drops the silver ring, I believe, or the gold ring. I got them confused. For some reason, I thought Maria had the gold ring. Now off to the silver ring. Here we have the next boss, the Cerberus, I guess. Cerberus? I don't know, whatever. The three-headed dog. He is not on our way to get the silver ring, but he is on our way to get the spike breakers, which is needed for the silver ring. Okay, here we have a room full of spikes. Now we need...
a little suspicious?
Now we need the bat echo in order to get through this room here. The echo lets you see through, you know, where the spikes are and lets you navigate. I usually go through with the mist. I figured I don't want to backtrack all the way to where the echo of bat is, so I feel like we are just going to wing it. Get it?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
A little suspicious?
So I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. I forgot I don't have the freaking power of mist. So we kind of need to backtrack and go grab that. And we might as well just grab the freaking echo of bat or whatever, so we can just navigate that spiky room a lot easier. All right, here we are again. Now we have the freaking power of mist or whatever. And now we can wing it. No?
Shut your stupid...
I sometimes get stuck here, so... There it is. We got it, baby. We got it, baby. First try, too. Who needs a stinky echo of bat, right? Not gonna lie, guys, I'm glad I got that on my first try. And here it is, guys, these spike breakers. Now we can go on to grab the silver ring from Maria. And here we have it, guys, the silver ring. Now we are on our way to the inverted castle, hopefully. I kind of forgot we had to fight Maria for the holy glasses, so 1 second. Okay, now we have the holy glasses. Now we could definitely go to the inverted castle. And here we are fighting Richter. Well, not really. And here we have it, guys, the inverted castle. We made it all in one video. I honestly didn't think it was going to be done in one video, but I said, you know what, let's just go ahead and knock it out, because now that we are in the inverted castle, we could actually focus on farming the items and the things that we need, which we might do, unless you guys tell me otherwise in the comments. We might do 10 per video to kind of, you know, keep the videos short-ish. I don't want to, you know, invest so much time and try to knock out the entire items in one single video, which might make the video a few hours. Again, I'm not entirely sure how many items there is, but we still need to go back and get all of the missing secret areas and the missing items in the original castle, as well as this castle, and then farm the enemies for those items. And some of the items drop quick, but some of them have a low drop rate. Like I think the Melblung, if I remember one of them, which is one of them, the Medusa shield is another one, and there's a couple of other ones that are kind of like they're kind of like a little bit grindy to try to get them. So here is a couple of the items that we have gotten along the way. We have, you know, either picked up from the ground or just been dropped. Like for example, the monster vial was dropped by, you know, enemies. The cheese was dropped by enemies. Some of these swords were also dropped by enemies and stuff like that. So here is a look at some of the items that we have gotten already, but here is a look at the rest of the items. We are still scrolling down, by the way. Still scrolling, still scrolling, now we reach the end. That is the amount of items that we are missing. In regards to these subcategories here, like, you know, like cloaks and power items and armor and stuff like that, these items right here there are not that many in the game, so I'm not too worried about these. The grindy part is going to be this right here, all of these items. The meals are fine, because the meals we will be doing along while trying to get the items is we will have the duplicator. By that point we should have the duplicator, and then I love killing this guy's head and watching him jump around like that. But like I was saying, we will have the duplicator, which means we could spam the meal ticket. That is where a lot of the items are going to come from, which is the meals. And I mean, yeah, guys, like I said, I mean, unless you guys tell me otherwise in the comments, I will be doing roughly 10 per video. And I might start with the grindy ones first, just to get them out of the way. And I mean, yeah, guys, I feel like this is a good spot to wrap it up. We reached the inverted castle. We have a handful of items, not that many. I'm pretty sure we don't have that much money. I'll check here in a minute. We do need 500,000 gold in order to get the duplicator. We have right now, where's my gold? 4,000, which is not a lot, but we did kind of like rush through the first castle. I didn't get as many items or as many money spots or anything like that we weren't able to hit. And I mean, yeah, guys, unfortunately we are gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. I will hopefully catch you guys on the next one. Peace.